Every day is an opportunity. We are sojourners in this life. Will we stay in our comfortable surrounding, or will we take a step to the unknown? The world can be a scary place, or it can be an adventure with a story yet untold. The question we can ask ourselves is this: where are you in this journey we call life? We all travel somewhere. Where are you going? So, I've got another question to pose to you all. Why do we travel? Why do I travel? Have you ever sat and just observed people and ever wondered, where are they going? So I'm at one of the bigger stations here in Korea where people can travel via bus, via train, via subway, to all sorts of destinations. So the genesis of the whole aspect of traveling on was because I both like physically to travel, but I also look at life as a metaphorical journey. And so traveling was the logical thought process when naming this channel. Now, for those of you who don't know, my actual name is Adam, but I kind of like the whole traveling on. You know, there's a little wordplay with on, traveling on, but yeah, so that's the whole concept of the genesis of the aspect of traveling. You know, I'm right in the middle of the Gen X generation, but I think this is very millennial of me, but perhaps you've heard the whole concept, the whole idea of I would rather spend money on experiences than possessions. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I travel, is that I would rather spend money on going on vacation to a couple places I've never been to than spend money on a brand new car. I mean, cars come and go, they depreciate, they're just a big headache. Well, fortunately I live in Seoul, South Korea, where I don't need a car. But when I lived in America, we always had clunkers for the most part. And the reason why is like, why spend all this money on a possession that really only gets you from point A to point B? I would rather spend that hard-earned money on traveling. So what do you all think? I mean, do you agree with me? For those of you who are younger, yeah, I mean, you're probably totally like, you're basically thinking I'm preaching to the choir. But for those of you who are my age or older, maybe we have to kind of reevaluate the things that we spend our money on and the things that we put value in front of, because at the end of the day, this life is but a vapor in the wind, here today, gone tomorrow. And I would rather spend that money on traveling, spend that money doing good things than just buying a different possession each and every time. Possessions come and go, but experiences, relationships, connections with people, man, that's golden. So I wanted to get inspired, so I went online to kind of see what people had to say about travel. And I came upon this really awesome quote. It's, I'm gonna put it up here on the screen, but it's by a woman who was a civil rights activist, and she states this about travel. Perhaps travel cannot prevent bigotry, but by demonstrating that all peoples cry, laugh, eat, worry, and die, it can introduce the idea that if we try and understand each other, we may even become friends. Wow, that is so true, right? I mean, when you think about this whole idea of looking beyond just your area of life, travel brings those opportunities to your life. I mean, not just traveling, but think about when you move to a different part of the country. I grew up in the Midwest, but I had the opportunity to move to Oregon, and then to California, back to Oregon, and then ultimately back to my home country here in Korea. And all those places that I traveled to just opened up the door to be able to meet new people, to be able to experience different cultures around the United States, to be able to open my horizon and see that there is literally like a whole new world of culture and people. And it really gives you a sense of empathy, a sense of understanding, a sense that as diverse as we actually, that we all are, we're actually a lot more alike than we realize. I think that's so true about travel. That's one of the big reasons why I think it's so important to get out there. You know, I think like horses who have, like if you see a horse and pulling a carriage, a lot of times they will have like blinders on them. And they do that so the horse doesn't get scared, right? And I feel like it's natural human tendency to put blinders and to be very myopic, to be very like narrow-minded when it comes to traveling or when it comes to accepting other cultures. Okay, future Adam here. So basically, I was thinking about some anecdotal stories of being able to travel and learn new things. I think one of the things that come to mind, a few things come to mind actually. One of them was, I remember being like a little kid and I lived in a small town and a friend of mine lived in a town that was only like 40 minutes away, but it bordered the Kentucky line, the Indiana-Kentucky line. And in my mind as a kid, as a young kid, like we're talking 4th grade, 5th grade, you had this mentality that people that lived that far south must have been just a bunch of hicks. Now we used hicks back in that day. I know it's not politically correct now, so I apologize, but that was the term that we used back then out of ignorance. And I remember going down there and then visiting my friend and getting to know some of his friends. And my worldview was really small at the time, but I remember just thinking, wow, these kids from this particular city are not much different than the people from where I grew up. And that was kind of like a mind-blowing experience for me as a young kid. And it was at that, I think that inception point that I began to realize that, you know, maybe we're not as different as we think. And you know, I think the third reason, we'll just keep it short, it's just because travel, it's fun. I mean, think about the first day when you go on a vacation or you go on a trip. There's that eager anticipation of going someplace new, experiencing something new. And I think travel is just fun. And I mean, in this world where there's so much heartache, so much trial and tribulation, so many crazy things going on all around the world, you know, sometimes it's chicken soup for the soul to just go out and travel. I mean, you may not be able to go to another country, someplace exotic, but even going to the next town, going to a new place, like a new restaurant in your town. I remember when it was during COVID and we went back to the Midwest for my family for a few months. And we couldn't really go anywhere. It was before the vaccine came out. And my wife and I, we would just simply travel to different locations like universities where there were no students. This was in the year 2020. And we would just walk around the universities and just kind of see different experiences. I mean, we didn't even get to go very far, but even doing that kind of gave us that itch of traveling, of seeing different things that we otherwise would not have seen. And I think that ultimately, those are reasons why I personally travel. And isn't that part of the journey of life? Isn't that why we travel? Is to grow and to mature and to be opening our minds to other people. So yeah, those are the 3 reasons why I travel. Let me know down in the comments below why you travel. I'd be very interested to hear. In the meantime, again, please stay safe out there. It's a crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I'm out. Peace. you.